Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. It is the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Guys, welcome. How are you? Hope you've been well. Missed you for the last couple of days. Been a little bit busy around here. So, yeah, just took a couple of days off. Enjoying family time. And it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Now my body's like, hey, do you remember us? And I'm trying to tell it to leave me the hell alone, but it's not listening. So we're going to push past that and just enjoy the fun part of it. And I thought it'd be fun to share a couple of stories from this weekend because I got all three girls here, and all three of my children were here for limited times here and there. And then my son-in-law was here. All people I enjoy, and it was a great day, great couple of days. Yesterday morning, for instance, we were all outside just hanging out. The girls were playing, the adults were just sitting around talking, and it was just fun. It was just fun, and I live for that kind of stuff. It was another one of those points where at one moment I just stand up and I look and I'm seeing everything happening in front of me, and I just smile. I just couldn't help it. So the other day, let's start with the oldest. Let's start with the oldest. Little butt, Mini Munchkin. She looks at me today when they're getting ready to leave. She goes, "Grandpa, I don't want to leave." I said, "I know, baby doll. I don't want you, not baby doll, because that's Lady Mug." I said, "I know, baby, but I don't want you to leave either." And she says, she looks at me and she gets this little sly smile on her face. She goes, "I'm just gonna hide here." I'm like, "Oh, baby, if only I could hide you here." Said, "But look, your parents are a couple of young, active parents, and parents can get distracted, but I think they would notice one of their children missing. So I don't think that's going to work." But I got the biggest hug from her. She's so sweet. The middle little, oh my God. So the other day I'm taking stuff out to the backyard, just chairs and stuff like that. And I'm carrying probably more than I should be, but I get it out there and she's standing back there. She looks at me, she goes, "Grandpa, I would have helped you with that." And it's things like that. My heart just went, "Oh." And I've saved the youngest for last. I don't know if you guys have talked to 3-year-olds. I don't know if you've had very many conversations with 3-year-olds, but oh my God, this girl, she is just so full of spunk. We're going to bed last night, and I'm laying down with her. The girls sleep in separate rooms when they're with us. One of them stays with us, and one sleeps with their parents. But her parents were out, so I was staying with her till they got in, and we were watching the Mario movie. She loves the new Mario movie. Oh my God. We watched the Mario movie so many times this weekend. But I have the Mario movie on for her, and I tell her, I say, "Okay, now we need to close our eyes and we'll just listen." And she'll, "Grandpa, if I close my eyes, I can't see." I was like, "Yes, baby. Close your eyes. We'll just listen to the movie while we go to sleep." She goes, "But I can't see with my eyes closed." Yes, honey, I'm understanding that concept. And then she goes, "But I want to see Princess Peach." And we're at a point in the movie where Princess Peach is almost there. I don't want to ruin any of the movie for anybody who wants to see it still, but we're almost to the introduction of Princess Peach. Okay, so you can watch for just a couple minutes and then we'll just listen. She goes, "Okay." And then she immediately rolls onto her stomach and passes out. I was like, what was the argument for? Ron Corpse, thank you so much. Buy yourself or the grandkids a treat. Thank you so very much for that. I really do appreciate it. That's very, very kind. Yeah, the girls, man, they're so full of energy and life, and it's so fun just hanging out with them and talking. Me and Little Butt, we have grown-up conversations now. Like we actually discuss her day and what she's reading and stuff like that. The middle little, the discussions they're in an in-between phase where you feel like you're having a discussion, then suddenly it will veer off to the right, and you're like, what, how? Weren't we just having a normal conversation? And then the little one. Yeah, with the little one, you realize the world would be a much different place if everybody was as honest as a 3-year-old. She comes to me this afternoon. I'm sitting in the chair in the living room, and she'd been playing in the bedroom, and she comes out. She goes, "Grandpa, I need you to come here." I said, "Okay, baby, what you need?" And she goes, "I need you to come here." Uh, Fair enough. I guess you had already told me that. Oh, it's just so much fun, so much fun. I hope you guys have been having a good time too. I did miss you. I would have done shows the last couple of days if I had even an ounce of energy. They left today about 4 o'clock, and I was out. Told Lady Monkey, like, I love you, but I'm going to bed. I went and laid down and passed the hell out. I woke up a couple times, but finally around midnight, I crawled out of bed. And here we are to talk about the world around us. And oh, dear God, what a place it is. I was just in an argument with an idiot. I know that happens a lot, but it was with an argument with an idiot over there on Twitter. Thank you, Jedi Ghost Bear, for tagging me in that shitty. Oh my God. This guy's convinced, absolutely convinced that the media all leans conservative. Like, uh, what? What the hell are you talking? Conservative leaning media? And it all comes down to a moms for liberty thing we'll get to in a minute. But yes, they're all conservative leaning, you see. He said this. He goes, how can you say that the media is not conservative when they fired people for being too left over there on CNN? Like, ha ha. Well, they didn't fire people for being too left on CNN. They fired them for being too biased on CNN. They're all still fucking lefties. And you'll notice that they're in their firing for being too biased on CNN. They couldn't even find somebody to pretend to fire for being too right. They're the rightest, the most right-leaning person they fired was probably Don Lemon. That's how fucking left they are. No, that doesn't mean anything. And so then I got him the statistics that show that the majority of journalists and people working for journalism organizations like CNN and MSNBC, even MSNBC verifies this, that the majority of political giving from those organizations goes to the left, anywhere from 87 to 97%. And he's like, "This, you're just obsessed with me." I'd responded twice to him at this point. You're just obsessed with me. What the fuck are you talking about? You're one of my favorite YouTubers. That's very nice of you to say, Christian Militant. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh my God. Speaking of favorite YouTubers, you guys see the iDubbbz video from today? Holy shit. Speaking of all conservative media, Anna Kasparian agreeing about Kyle Rittenhouse was not on my bingo card. Did she finally give in fully? Thank you for the donation. Last I saw, she was like, I mean, yeah, I didn't actually watch it, so maybe I got some stuff wrong, but she was still holding on to it. Can I get a world famous ranting monkey rendition of Happy Birthday? I just turned 52 on the 3rd. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chicago Mike. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All done with one breath. Not bad for an asthmatic smoker, right? Happy birthday, sir. I hope you have a great one. I really, really do. Somebody asked, where's Jack? I guess he's sleeping. He might also be somewhere watching something and hasn't realized that the show started. That happens sometimes too. He's probably getting his dinner ready, if we're being honest. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. So, iDubbbz. Holy shit. iDubbbz makes a video today where he explains Creator Clash 2. Oh my. Okay, so Creator Clash 2, we talked about this a little bit when it was happening. It's one of these YouTube boxer things, but unlike the other ones, this one's for charity. iDubbbz set it up 2 years ago, and then this was Creator Clash 2 this year. There was some uh, controversy, I guess is the right word, because they kicked off this guy, what's his name, Froggy Fresh, because he's friends with Sam Hyde, and like, you can't be here, caused a whole bunch of shit. So the thing eventually goes on, and it seems like a success. We'll get back to that in a moment. Summer, thank you. As far as Twitter is concerned, she held the gun, but personally, I haven't seen it all yet. I'll have to check it out, Snub. Thank you so much. And Chicago Mike says, thank you, Monkey. You're very welcome. Seriously, sir. I hope you have a really, really good birthday. So iDubbbz gets on there and he tells us, yeah, Creator Clash 2 was a massive disappointment. A massive disappointment. I would bring up the video, but it's kind of long, and we'll just go over the greatest hits on it. Basically, they overspent and didn't sell enough tickets. Now, I don't know what they sold in the arena, but he says they sold 50,000 tickets for pay-per-view. Pay-per-view tickets, depending on when you bought, went from $19 to $24. If we just go with $20, that's $1 million just off pay-per-view. What they sold in the arena, I have no idea, but he gave each of the fighters $20,000, a stipend for getting ready. They rented a hotel room for everybody. Just with this stipend, they spent $450,000. There's 24 fighters, 480,000, almost $500,000 just to the fighters. When everything's all said and done, they're actually $250,000 in the hole. They have no money to give to any of the charities they were supposed to give money to. Oopsie. Maybe. Look, hey, iDubbbz, I'm just going to throw this out there. I know you're a much bigger creator than I am. But if somebody who's more consistent than you seem to be consistent. That's what you need to do. That's all you got to do. And you're not. You kicked out somebody for being friends with somebody who insulted your wife. Oh my God, we can't have him there. They actually kicked Sam Hyde had bought tickets for this thing, and they're like, no, you can't come. Like he was going to jump in the ring, WWE style. Oh God, they made so many mistakes along the way. There's a lot of people, oh, he didn't promote it enough. Well, that might be part of it, but I'm pretty sure everybody who was interested knew what was going on. But I think they made a lot of mistakes. They got a bigger arena for no real reason, just because they're like, oh, well, it was big last year. It'll be bigger this year. Not necessarily. Stopping by to say hi, happy birthday, America. Indeed, indeed. We'll get to the 4th of July in a minute. One of my favorite holidays, mostly because of the food and explosions, but I love America. Yeah, this creator clash thing, man, is quite blown up in his face. And this is a couple of L's in a row for old iDubbbz, because he had his thing not too long ago. He's like, all of my old fans, you're bigots and I hate you. I mean, it's not your fault, but I still hate you and you're bad people. I'm paraphrasing. That's basically what he said. Maybe, listen to me, iDubbbz. The kind of people you're hanging around now, the kind that you've been courting since you hooked up with your OnlyFans chick, your Ethan Kleins and your Hassan Abis, your Hassan Piker, that's Abi here on YouTube. They might get a lot of views, but people aren't going to pay a lot of money to come see a fight over that, because you got to give them, maybe if you made it right versus left class, get some what are they called now? Anti-woke people fighting woke people. Then you would have had them pushing it all over the place. But they weren't going to help you, man. You were there for their views. How about this? Stop being the twat you've turned into and go back to being the person people liked, and more people would have shown up. He even said this in there. I thought that if I just added more creators, that would mean more ticket sales. Why? Why would that? Unless it was people somebody specifically wanted to see beat up, right? Unless like you had somebody Jake Paulish, where people are paying just hoping this motherfucker gets knocked out finally. Just adding more people isn't going to get more. It's not like somebody's going to go, I wasn't interested in this when it was only 18 boxers, but now that it's 24, yeah, that's worth my $20. Oh my God. I just, it was funny to watch. I don't know about that, Monkey. Watching two retards fight each other would be entertaining. Well, I mean, then Creator Clash is probably for you. I wonder how well the Boogie Wings of Redemption fight did compared to the entirety of Creator Clash 2. Because that one was shown free. That was in the build-up to the main card, and the Boogie Wings of Redemption one was shown free on YouTube. There's another thing they did with Creator Clash last year. After the first one, they're like, this is when the date is, and then we'll have it free for everybody. This year, like, we're not having it free for anybody. So it pissed off a lot of people. A lot of people were like, oh, now you're just in it for the money. Whatever. I just found it funny. It's entirely beside the point. It was just something that popped up on my profile, or on my Twitter as I was getting ready for the show this evening. I don't even know where to start tonight. I don't. There's so much going on. How about we start with America? You know, guys, there's a lot about America that's let's call it up in the air right now. There's a lot of freedoms and stuff that we're not allowed, or they're frowned upon, especially speech. Speech being the biggest of the two. The other one, of course, being guns. But they're frowned upon these. How dare you? How dare you? You're not, hey, just because they wrote it 200 years ago, it's not written in stone. I got feelings over here that need protected. Don't say mean words. Go fuck yourself, seriously. Now, look, guys, I don't believe in just being mean for the sake of being mean. If you want that, go to a comedy show with a comic that's known for insulting his audience. There's where you want to go be an asshole like that. Go do it there. But that doesn't mean that when I'm having a discussion with somebody, like, for instance, say somebody who's telling me that the clearly left-leaning mainstream media, I can't believe he said this, is conservative, I might get a little insulting. Or let's say we're just having a biological discussion and you're pointing out that a woman that has a beard because she took a bunch of testosterone who's pushing out a baby is not a man having a baby. I was watching AP as I was getting ready for the show, and he was showing some of these videos, and there's this one of this trans couple. It's a trans man married to a trans woman, and the trans man had a baby. So there you go, guys. Men can have a baby. And the trans woman was trying to breastfeed it. Now, this popped up in my feed because of a whole nother story where this person was breastfeeding, I'm using air quote, breastfeeding their child, a trans woman breastfeeding. You just have a baby sucking on your nipple. That probably should qualify as some kind of CP, if I'm being honest. You're using a baby, an infant, to stimulate your nipple. They're not eating. There's no food there for them. So literally all you're doing is having them suck your nipple. And yeah, that's probably not a good thing. You know who could have produced it? Who could have made that milk? A daddy, the one who has a vagina and breasts and mammary glands that actually produce milk. But they actually said this, the trans woman said this. He's latched on a few times, but he's not really feeding. Saying it like they were shocked that there was no boob milk from the man titty. Well, yeah, that's kind of how man titties work. Oh my God. But there was an article floating around the last couple of days about this person. They got a lot of hate online because they're trans. And they pointed out this shows that a trans woman can breastfeed. And they had a picture of this former dude with a baby sucking on his nipple. That's not okay. Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Under any other circumstance, can you imagine people just being okay with a dude letting a baby suck his nipple? That's not how it works. And I know, no. They've had instances, all three of them, none verified, of people who men who were able to feed babies. No. And when men have things seeping out of their nipple, it's not milk. Summer, thank you. Males can lactate, but it's usually because of medical imbalances or induced chemicals, which is worse because then they drink those chemicals. Just don't do it. Snub, go look it up. Look it up. Look up the instances of men lactating. The original instances of this. I want to say there's 5. Don't quote me on the number, but they're all pre-cell phone. These actually go back. I think the last one was the 1940s. Again, don't quote me, but it's from long ago. None of it's verified. It's just some guy who said he went to some tribe and there was a man breastfeeding the kids. No pictures, no scientific data on it. Nothing was ever followed up. Just, yes, I saw it. That's the beginning of it. Since then, they keep trying to do this. And the ones where they've most recently done it, There was a story not long ago. It was like, no, look, it's producing milk. And like, yeah, well, what is it? And when they actually did the chemical study of it, it's not milk because men can't produce milk. It's not the same thing as titty milk. It's pus, basically. Yeah. I don't want to Google man milk. Yeah, probably not a good idea. But you can Google men breastfeeding and read up on this. Seriously, the accounts of it happening, last I knew, there was less than 10. Less than 10. Worldwide. Holy shit. Dark conservatarian. That is ridiculously generous. Thank you so very much. Hey, Monk, a few weeks ago, got my tax return. Yes, I was a last minute filer. Shut up. But here's a good chunk of my return who got screwed over this last tax season and need it more than me. Only thing I ask is maybe talk in real time with you sometime. Happy Independence Day. There, Snub. I will get to that in a second. I have been thinking about this lately because I enjoy talking to other people. But let me get this first. Thank you, Snubber. Milk can be produced in ankles by mutation. It can happen, but you're generally a freak of nature and shit gets mixed in. You're right about the pus thing. Yeah. There was an episode of House, I believe it was, where milk was being produced in other parts of this body, but it was because the dude had cancer. And it was causing the mammary glands, or maybe it was a chick, but it was causing mammary glands to the cells to move through the body and ended up. It might have even been the ankle in that one. But anyway, I want to get back to this because I've been thinking about having more people on the show. Now, don't get excited. I'm not doing an open mic. I watch open mics, and as good ideas they sound, a lot of the times they just end up with dead air or awkward conversations, which are fine, I guess. But here's my problem. I'm a nice guy, and I have problem going, all right, you got to get off my show now. You have to go away. No. I need Gutenberg on if I do it. I need Gutenberg here to go. Nah, you got to go. Because Gutenberg, he's much better at that kind of stuff than I am. He's not mean. He's just like, your mic sucks. You need to go. That's right. But I have thought about opening it up a little bit more, having more people on. You definitely need more rapport with Scribe. Me and Scribbles, we need to make a day and do it midday-ish because that's when we're both usually awake and probably could. Or even have him on the show later or me over on his show. We've talked about that several times. It's just a lot of times it's just making the scheduling work. You guys know how my schedule is. But no, like talking with Beast Boy and talking with Ty, talking with even Hunter. I know that was an interesting conversation, but I like talking to people. I talk to myself all the time. I was enjoying it when I joined you for the show. Yeah, like we haven't done that in a long time. When the show first started, it was mostly just me grabbing people out of the audience going, hey, you want to chat? I mean, the first show was just me in a rage. But after that, yeah, we kind of opened it up. And since then, we pulled it back. And there is a reason for that. There is a reason just because sometimes it's too much. So I think if I do it, maybe pull one person on instead of having like 5 or 6 like we used to do. We had a limit, like 4 was the limit, but we never stayed to it. So we'll see what happens. I really liked when P-Dog used to do his open mic, but again, sometimes you would just have awkwardness. I want to have good conversations is all. It's okay, Monk. You can just say you don't like us. I would prefer chatting actually than reading. Ow, that's my back. Sorry, guys. I had to sit up straight. Let's get to the Moms of Liberty thing because there's some stuff going on with this. Is this the right one? Yeah, I got to make sure I have the right article up. Have you guys been following the Moms of Liberty stuff? Moms of Liberty, these are people, it's a group that started, I just want to make sure I have the right article. This started all because of the school board meetings and shit. Well, they got in trouble the other day for this Moms of Liberty chapter apologizes for quoting Hitler in newsletter. And this is what they quoted. He alone who owns the youth gains the future. Okay. It is something Hitler said. Okay. I don't know if they knew that when they said it. I have no idea. A lot of time people hear quotes and have no idea where they came from. Just try to find somebody who can tell you where the those who would give up their liberty for safety deserve neither and will get neither. Which I'm paraphrasing, but look at how many people will quote that and have no idea who said it. I've heard between Franklin and Jefferson. I couldn't tell you who actually said it, but my point being, I don't know if they actually knew who the quote came from. However, two things are important here. One, that statement's not wrong. That statement right there, he who owns the youth gains the future, that's basically the Communist Manifesto. Well, not manifesto, roadmap. How long have I been telling you guys that the Democrats understand target the youth? It's what they've been doing. It's why Gen Z went from being the most conservative generation since the boomers' parents to, well, just millennials, just to these sad, pathetic, oh my God, you called me a word, people. It's because they target the youth. They 100% target the youth. Number two, I want to show you this here. Apologizes for quoting Hitler. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since the election of 2020, the Democrats, liberals in general, all Trump haters of any stripe, whether they call themselves conservative or commie, the news media, pretty much everybody has been using the phrase the big lie. The big lie. You guys have heard me talk about this, right? You know where this is going, right? You ever heard one of these fuckers, one of them, apologize for using Hitler's language? One of them? They all repeat the same thing. I've heard them talk about how Trump supporters are anti-Semitic while repeating the term the big lie over and over again. Look this up. Don't take my word for it. Hitler pushed the big lie as what the Jews were doing. Them damn Jews and their big lie. So if you guys want to call these people out for quoting Hitler, fine. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that statement, honestly. It's true. You know why that's true? Because young people are easy to sway. That's why. Because they're not that bright. They don't have life experience. Their brains haven't even fully formed. That happens 25 or 26. Why do you think they get them into college? Get them in there and out again by, 26. Gotta get them while they're still forming, y'all. But the media's repeated the big lie. Literal Nazi propaganda for 2 fucking years, going on 3 years. And they call people out for quoting Hitler unironically without the slightest hint of irony in them saying so. Now, Moms of Liberty, they've been trying to get them for a while. The SPLC has labeled them a hate group. I don't give a shit what the SPLC labels anybody because the SPLC is, well, a partisan political organization. They know that if they call somebody hateful or a hate group or whatever language they want to use, that it's going to go out into the media and they can smear anybody that way. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. You can sue them, but good luck doing so. Good luck doing so. They're allowed their opinions, you see. And that's what that part boils down to. But yeah, I just love this, that they have the balls, the absolute balls to be out there going, they were quoting Hitler. You guys do it daily. What the fuck are you talking about? Literal Nazi propaganda. Now, if we're being fair, I don't think you guys are doing it because Hitler said it and because it's Nazi propaganda. I think you guys are doing it because you're stupid. But you never give anybody else that benefit of the doubt. You guys have literally gone, oh my God, Donald Trump said something Hitler did, when it's just an innocuous thing. Oh my God, it's like what he said. Happy Treason Day. Damn right. Treason does not prosper. Why? Because if it does, one dare not call it treason. It wasn't treason, my friend. It was a revolution. The difference? We won. If we lost, then it would have been a treasonous act. It's just funny to me how these news organizations get away with doing this, and nobody calls them out for it in a major way. We do. I don't want to say nobody because we do it, but they get away with it constantly. Constantly. They're such hypocrites. Oh, and you guys know how much I just fucking hate the media in general. I wouldn't hate the media if they weren't so full of shit. You know what I mean? If they had even an ounce. Am I on the right internet? I don't think I'm on the right internet. Hang on one second, y'all. All the Twitter shit the other day because Elon had limited the number of tweets you could see. I don't much care about that. I really don't. They were limiting it depending on who you ask because they DDoS themselves or because there were people scraping data. Scraping data is just a fancy way of saying that people are going in there and pulling data off of Twitter by like do a search for Republican, and then everybody who has Republican just pulling that information, and then conservative, everybody who says conservative, pull all that information. Things like that. I'm being very broad here, but what it ends up doing is just putting a massive strain on the servers because there's these massive hits, and there's just stealing the data from Twitter, which it's an open platform, so I guess stealing might be the wrong word, but making use of their stuff. And Elon says it was getting so bad that they had to slow everything down so they could take care of it. Other people who misread the news because they really hate Elon were like, he didn't pay his Google bill. That's why this is happening. And he ended up DDoSing himself. This comes from an article. What was the name of that place? Edge something. I don't remember. But it's from June 11th. June 11th. This said Elon hadn't paid his bill to Google and he might not do it. Well, 10 days later, they had an update to that story that said, yeah, it was all taken care of. But nobody paid attention at that point because people just want to hate Elon. And so let's move to a different platform. None of them have done it yet. It could happen. All right. Meta has just come out and announced that they're going to release a competitor to Twitter. Good luck to you. But you have all of these people just absolutely, I hate the Twitter. I hate Elon. I'm never coming back here till tomorrow. And it was just funny watching everybody lose their fucking shit over this. And death of Twitter was trending for like a day. Elon really did it this. Oh, fuck off. If you don't like, you can't. The problem is you can't leave because you're just addicted to it. And you just want the old regime back where you could take people like me and silence me because I don't like your dumbass opinion that Ukraine is somehow equal to World War II, which, by the way, is the argument that got me kicked off Twitter. This guy was comparing Ukraine to World War II. And I'm like, it's not even close, homie. That's all I said. And everything got fucked up. Evolved Potato, thank you so much. Happy birthday, America. And fuck you for your revolution. Because of that, the British cracked down especially hard on Australia when we started to get out from them. A grand fuck you from the Eureka Stockade. I will say this. Look, we were a young country, so I understand our unwillingness, but I do wish America had helped a little bit more for the other colonies who are standing up for themselves. Be like, don't do it. We'll help out too. We'll get the French in here. Don't make us get the French. But yeah. Look, it sucks that shit happened to you guys. Should have called us. We'd have sent you some guns. All right. Speaking of guns, let's get to this stupid shit. Billy Baldwin. All right. First of all, Billy, you should not be talking about gun stuff. Look, I realize it wasn't you, right? I know it wasn't you who did it. But Billy, your brother killed a woman with a gun. All right. And he's getting away with it scot-free. He's not going to go do any jail time for that shit. And I don't think he murdered her. Maybe you should read the room, pay attention to the optics, and not be talking about guns and gun control. Maybe let that pass. Okay. Thank you, Frosted Glass. If Moms for Liberty is trying to prevent government overreach and brainwashing kids, why wouldn't they quote Hitler? Who's a better authority on this than the guy who established Hitler Youth? He didn't have to be a good person to know totalitarianism. Yeah, it's kind of weird. You can quote Stalin and nobody really gives a fuck, but don't quote Hitler even if he was right. You know what I mean? Hitler said the sky was blue today. Oh, I said the sky was blue. Holy shit, now I'm a Nazi. No. Hitler was a piece of shit. He was an asshole. Doesn't mean he was wrong every time he spoke. That thing there about targeting the youth, 100% true. And the real reason they're all pissed off about it is because that statement there exposes what the left has been doing for 80 years here in the United States. But anyway, let's get back to Billy here. I do want to point out, I don't know who drew this thinking that it was somehow negative, but it's a handgun with the handle is Florida. For those of you who are not watching, that's actually kind of cool looking. There was somebody who is it? I wonder if we can get to. Yeah, there we go. It's got the Everglades in here. I don't know who first came up with this image, but they really should sell it on T-shirts. But anyway, this is what Dickhead said. Florida passes concealed carry law this week. It's like the Wild West down there. All right, stop. We got to stop right there. Concealed carry is like the Wild West. In the Wild West, didn't they wear their guns on their hips and their shotguns on their back? Wasn't it pretty much open carry? Look, not everybody open carried, but it was open carry. That's the part that made it Wild West. You didn't have a shootout at high noon and everybody having to reach into their back pocket where they got their gun hidden. It was right there on their fucking hip, you retard. The Wild West was not the Wild West. That was Hollywood. Not just Hollywood Faithless. It was also, the dime store novels and stuff like that. Or the dime novels, not dime store novels, the dime novels. But the idea of the Wild West, what he's getting at here, it wasn't concealed carry. What the fuck were you? Wait. I'm going to bring this up again. Every moment you go out into public, every moment, literally everybody around you could be carrying. Everybody around you could have a gun hidden on them somewhere, and you wouldn't know it unless they pulled it out. Doesn't matter what the laws are. Doesn't matter what the law says. And here's the rub there. If it's actually concealed, you will never know it until they pull it out. That's what concealed means, shithead. So you're worried about them making it legal that people can do that when I'm guessing Billy here lives in Hollywood like all the other shitbags. At any moment, everybody around you can have a concealed gun. And chances are, if you've ever hung out with your brother when he's got security around him, there's absolutely people with concealed weapons. And you're all right with that. Anyhow, he says 2 questions. How soon before innocent people die as a result of this in some domestic, racial, road rage, or alcohol related incident? How soon before a child, woman, or cop are struck down will the first incident occur at a 4th of July barbecue tomorrow? Oh, how much you would love it if it did. Oh, Billy Baldwin wants a kid to get capped in the back of the head tomorrow by somebody who had a concealed gun. Hey, Billy. Hey, question for you. How many people died in Chicago yesterday because of a concealed gun? How many? It's illegal there. How many? That little girl who got shot on the playground back during the Floyd riots that you probably never heard of. Little 4-year-old girl shot on the playground. Do you think that gun was concealed before that guy shot? Or do you think he was walking around in the open with it, just brandishing it all over the place? They make it sound, oh my God, concealed carry, like it somehow makes the gun more dangerous. It's still a gun, shithead. And the people who are going to use it are going to use it regardless. You could have the law say, yeah, you can't have a gun, can't conceal carry. That's only going to stop people who follow the law. The kind of person who's going to shoot a child, woman, or cop. I love how it's child, woman, or cop. Those are the most important. What about a firefighter, Billy? What about a soldier? Soldier out on vacation? You don't, not him, just the cop, huh? All right. It's like a ninja gun. Yeah, you don't know it's there unless they pull it out. How many Americans and Canadian tourists will no longer winter in Florida because they don't feel safe? How much tourism revenue is Florida willing to lose to DeSantis's new shootout at the OK Corral law? Okay. Once again, the shootout at the OK Corral, they were going to disarm those guys because they were openly carrying firearms, you shithead. They weren't concealed, dumb fuck. How do you get okay? Never mind. I know, because you're an idiot. I know. But when I read this part, that first part of it, how many American and Canadian tourists will no longer win? Do you guys remember when Florida removes the mask mandate and it says that you can't mandate that, and everybody like, oh, it's going to kill their tourism? And then what we see? The same people who are like, you can't get rid of the mask mandate. It's not safe. Going down to Florida without their fucking masks on, hanging out in public. AOC, I'm looking at you. Actually, there were tons of leftists who went to Florida and vacationed without their masks on. I have a feeling that this isn't going to affect tourism all that much. There's several people in the comments like, I'm never going to Florida. You weren't going to Florida anyway. Shut up. Why don't you go to Vegas where it's real safe? Go to LA, I dare you. Get yourself a nice reservation at what's that hotel that's right outside Skid Row down there in go get yourself a nice reservation there. I dare you. Go to Chicago. Go get yourself a nice reservation at a hotel on the south side of Chicago. I dare you. Don't worry, concealed carry is illegal there. Well, not illegal because it can't be illegal anywhere. That's another part of this. I mean, this is the Supreme Court in New York thing that you can't make it illegal. But Florida, they hate Ron DeSantis. Look, guys, I'm not on anybody's side when it comes to the election. I will point out stupid when I see stupid. Should we? Yeah, I guess we can look at this. I don't know if you guys seen this. God, my English is good today. We're gonna just put it on the screen here. This woman here. I mean, we can play it, but it's gonna be all choppy. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do
A
it.
scale from 1 to 10, but first, take a good look.
All right, rate me on a scale of 1 to 10, but first take a good look. And she does a little prance around in a circle. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. Yeah, she's a nice 7, maybe a 6, depending on what you like. But she's pretty. She's got a nice body. She's not overweight or anything like that. And he comes back with this.
I'm gonna say hard 4.
A hard 4. Hard 4. Anybody saying she's a 4 is lying. Sorry, you're just being mean. And I will die on that hill because she's clearly attractive. She's clearly attractive. Now, that doesn't mean she's your thing. You might like brunettes. You might like a little more chub. You might like a little skinnier. But he goes on to say her eyes are too far apart. She has fake boobies. Come on. Come on. Maybe he's gay. No, he's not. You know what this is? This is what this is. This is this chick right here going out and doing a prank. This is a prank video, you guys. This guy is either paid or was asked to say what he says. That's where we're at in the internet right now. Clearly attractive women are going out there and paying guys to call them ugly so they can get internet clout. Okay. I mean, and you do you, boo. Whatever helps the grift go on, man. Look, I'm not going to judge you. You can be as whatever you want to be. I just think it's kind of weird. Those are fake tits. You know, I see that's one of the arguments that he makes in here. She goes, how do you know they're fake? I can understand the argument of not liking or fake boobs, right? But again, she's clearly attractive. Nobody's looking at her and vomiting. When she walks down the street, nobody's turning and looking, going, "Oh my God, did you see her? Her nose was off to the side." Nobody's doing that. She's a clearly attractive young lady. You just wish you could make lots of money or make money off people calling you ugly. I wish I'd thought of this. Go out there and be like, hey, could you rate me on a scale of 1 to 10 and purposefully have them do that and then put it up on the internet so people be like, oh my God, they were so mean to you. Here, let me give you money. That's like a beautiful grift. Look, people who fall for it and actually do give her the validation that she's desperately seeking here. I mean, good for them, I guess. But the grift, this is a smart grift, honestly. Do you guys remember me talking about the chick over on Twitch who, for some reason, when I tuned in, I don't watch these videos, but it always popped up. She was doing the dating sitting there in her underwear. She'd do speed dating on her channel. And then one day I see her and she's like crying. So I click on her. I'm like, why is she crying? Her boyfriend had been mean to her. And she's fake crying through this whole thing. And money is just raining down. Just people are making it rain on this bitch because she's crying. Shiograph, thank you. Oh, you think you're pretty. I am pretty. But there's certain grifts that you can do where you can elicit emotion. I'm gonna get into one here in a moment. For instance, Carrie Smith, who I enjoy. Me and her have exchanged pleasantries on Twitter. We haven't been friends or anything. I would love to have her on the show sometime. She's a good friend of Mike Harlow. You guys remember Mike, the flamboyantly gay guy who was on? They're good friends and stuff. And I follow her and have for quite a while. And she kind of came to the defense of just Pearly the other day. You got to respect the hustle. Absolutely, Bjorn. Absolutely. I don't have to like what they're doing to respect the hustle itself. All right. So this is what she was defending. This is just Pearly. Oh, I did not mean to have that chick on here. Anyhow, she says, yes, you're less attractive at 35, at 25 as a woman. This used to be common sense 50 years ago. And then Carrie has this big thing. I don't know if I'll read all of it, but I'll throw it in the chat for you guys. There we go. And she's just defending what Pearly is saying here, which is fine, because Pearly's not wrong here for most people. I am a rarity. I like women more mature. I like 35 is where I start going, God damn, she's hot. Under that, they just look so young to me. It's like, I would need to card you to even get a boner right now. You know what I mean? And I understand most guys like a younger looking woman. I'm not saying illegal young, but until they hit like 30, when they hit the wall and they're like, oh, she hit the wall, I'm like, damn, she's hot. But I'm a rarity. And I understand that. And that has to be pointed out. If you read the comments to Pearly's, let's go back. So many of these comments down here. One, Melanie, you don't count. I don't know what genetics you have or how much makeup you have on, but you don't count. You are an oddity. Melanie Mack, I thought she was in her early 20s when I first saw her, but apparently she's 36. You don't count, okay? You just don't. Filtered as fuck. You can say that, but if you watch her live, she looks very young. So it's either a ton of makeup or just very fortunate genetics. But a lot of the people in here are like this chick. Let's look at her. She says, you tell me, because this was when I was in my 20s. I think she's this one here. And she goes, and now this is me in my 30s. Which one? Well, in the first one, you're trying to look like a boy. You're purposefully being unattractive. You look like a man. That's not a fair comparison. But anyway, my point, we're so off the point. My point here is that a lot of the women in here, and a few of the guys, but mostly the women, no matter what picture's up there, they will defend it like, no, you're beautiful. And I'm like, okay, they're still kind of cute, but if you look at the younger picture, they're clearly prettier. They don't have the laugh lines or the crow's feet. The skin is softer. I know you're prettier now. No, that doesn't mean they're not pretty now. But it gets even worse. It gets even worse. There's some people who defend Just Pearly. Now, Just Pearly's ugly. She is. She looks like the stunt double for the guy in Mask. Okay? She's not attractive. But so many people are like, she's attractive. No, she's not. She's clearly not attractive. And she doesn't do much to make herself more attractive. She doesn't even seem to wash her hair. But you have this thing where you'll have people defend the looks or the weight, sometimes even the intelligence of people who clearly, that's a little far. What, saying she's the stunt double for the guy in Mask? I don't think it's that far off. But you'll have them defend the stuff where, like, they know, they have to. That no, they're not as pretty as they are, as you keep trying to make them sound. It doesn't make them bad people. What and it really plays. How much have we been told, hey, looks don't matter? Looks don't matter. Maybe looks don't matter. But you guys sure seem to be trying to build up people based on their looks. If looks don't matter, why are you telling fat, ugly people that they're skinny and pretty? This is kind of what I was getting at earlier. The world would be a different place if we had the honesty of 3-year-olds. She ain't pretty, but she's not hideous either, Monk. I think I think she's ugly. Real quick, Frank, thank you. I'm not sure you agree, but this is how I look at it. Most guys consider the average girl attractive. So at the very least, 5 is still attractive because it's average. 4 wouldn't be hideous at that point. Just less than average attractive to that person. Well, here is a problem when it comes like rate me from 1 to 10. And you hit on it in here. 5 is average. 5 means, yeah, you look okay. You look like everybody else. You're not exceptionally pretty. You're not exceptionally ugly. You're just there. Nobody wants to be a 5 because you want to be a 7 or above because that's when you're pretty. Being called a 4 is saying you're kind of ugly. You're a little bit ugly. But a 5 is just like, yeah, you're symmetrical. That's all it is. And people get pissed about it. How dare you? And if you ever want to see that in all its spectacular fashion, go watch old Kevin Samuels stuff. That him telling a woman, yeah, you're a 5, she'd be like, how dare you? Well, you're average. There's nothing spectacular about you. It's not like you have big, beautiful eyes or wonderful pouty lips or I don't know, high cheekbones. I know some people like high cheekbones. I don't know why. But 5 is not bad. But it is if you tell a woman. But they'll lie to each other. Me and my wife, we have arguments all the time about whether somebody's pretty. Somebody will say somebody on TV is pretty, and I'll be like, no, they're not. And my wife will be like, yes, she is, because my wife is nice. My wife is a woman. My wife understands that women being called ugly is like one of the worst things that can happen to them. So she's like, no, she's pretty. Look, that eye down there that's underneath her nose, it's the same color as the other one. So see, no, that's the bitch is ugly. And we have fights about this all the time. Like, honey, you just don't understand. You don't understand what men are looking for. Now, if you want to say attractive to a woman, I guess. But a lot of women that get pushed on us as attractive, they're not really attractive. They're kind of ugly. If you pay attention, you look like, that bitch is kind of ugly. She's at best a 5. And you know what? I'll go with that on the blonde we looked at a moment ago. If you said she was a 5, all right, that's fair enough. She's symmetrical. She's got she's wearing tight little shorts to give her butt a little push up, and she got fake boobies to make that more attractive to people. But what's up, Gutenberg? How you doing, my friend? But anyway, Carrie comes in here and she's just pointing out, that people are going way too hard on Pearl on this because Pearl's right. And Pearl is right. And she finishes it with, none of this means you can't be an outlier, but stop selling the outliers as the norm to young women, which we've talked about this before. They've fucked up young boys. They've absolutely done that. But they're doing it to girls too. And they've been doing this kind of shit to them forever. It's okay to be average. Most people, this is why it's called average. Most people are average. Ladies, stop lying to other women and telling them how pretty they are when they're clearly not. It's not nice. It's really not. However, I do disagree that at 35 you're ugly. Because like I said, I like older women anyway. 6 at best. If we're talking about that girl earlier, I probably would give her 6 at the highest. Maybe a 7 depending on lighting. Yeah, there was one girl in there that had her picture. I wish I scrolled far enough. She has her before and after picture. And in her after picture, she's clearly got on a shit ton of makeup and just the brightest white lighting on her face. So you can't even see her fucking features. You can barely tell she has a nose. She's like, look how much prettier I am. Yes, I guess if you're in just massive fluorescent light all the time, you're kind of attractive. Oh my God. Selma Hayek is still the hottest woman alive, in my opinion. I never found Selma Hayek to be all that attractive. I would consider her 5 or 6 at best. And I know that's sacrilege. There's a whole lot of women that this happened. Somebody mentioned Pam Anderson. I don't remember why. I just saw the name in chat earlier. You ever see Pam Anderson before all the surgery? I think before all the surgery, she was really cute. And then after all the surgery, I think she looked ridiculous. I think she looked like she got stuck in an atmospheric chamber. Everything just went and popped up. Ugh. Never found that woman to be attractive in the Baywatch days. All right. Don't care about that. I want to talk about this one. This goes to the Supreme Court argument the other day. Guy goes, think about opening up a fry bread shop and refusing service to homophobic white people who offend my indigenous spiritual beliefs because the Supreme Court says I can. See, I can play this game too. That's not what the Supreme Court said. That's not even close to what they said. They did not say that you can't, or that you can refuse service to people based on arbitrary bullshit. Now, personally, I think you should be able to. I think you should be able to go, no white people in this place, and suffer the consequences of the free market if that's what you want to do. That's not what the Supreme Court has told us in other cases. But in this case specifically, the case that was before the Supreme Court the other day, the guy wasn't saying he would never work for gay people. He didn't say, hey, I don't want to ever work for gay people. What he said is that it would be wrong for him to have to make a gay marriage website. Now, if a gay guy came on there and was like, hey, I want a website talking about Star Wars. Could you set that up for me? He'd probably be like, yeah, I can do that for you. Because it's not pushing a gay agenda on anything. It's just, it happens to be a gay guy. And this is what so many of these assholes are getting wrong. Take a look at the wedding cake thing. Do you remember the wedding cake thing? The gay couple wanted them to make one of his really spectacular wedding cakes. And if you've never seen the guy, those wedding cakes, those fucking, that guy said, I am not going to do my very intricate art and stuff for a gay wedding. Buy any of the other cakes in my shop, many of which are wedding cakes. Buy them. Have at it. But I am not taking my artistic talent and doing something specifically for you, because I disagree with that. Thank you, Frosty Glass. I walk in wearing a Custer was right t-shirt. Oh, maybe Custer's not the way to go because he ended up dying. There's several others that you could pick that would probably piss him off pretty bad. Frank, thank you so much. There's some older chicks that are attractive, but younger is biologically more attractive because we desire fertility / signs of fertility. What I've witnessed is most, if not all, men who prefer older women have mom issues. Mine's not a mom issue. It's hot neighbor issue and hot teacher issue. I had very attractive teachers, not the butthole lip lady that I talked about before. Actually, my friend's mom, she's a little Mexican lady. She was cute as shit. And I thought that at 5. So that's where that comes from. Anyway, you got all these people who just do not understand what the law was saying. It was not saying that you can just kick all the gays out of your restaurant. Nope, still can't do that. You still can't say, hey, you can't be gay in here. Now, if they wanted to have a gay wedding reception in there, you could be like, yeah, you can't do that here. But what you can't do is be like, nah, you can't get a burrito today because you're gay. No gay burritos for you. Oh God, and they all think they're so smart, so fucking smart about it. All right, we got it. I know my video's all choppy and shit, but we have to watch this one because I need some help on this, guys. I really do. I need somebody to explain this to me. What we have here, I'm going to take their word for it that they're a woman. I'm not positive. Look, there's ugly women out there. She just looks so much like Rachel Levine that I can't help it. I can't. Dude. Thank you. Understatement. If he hates you, why have him prepare your food? That's always been my thing with I believe the thing that you should be able to refuse service to anyone for any reason. It's your business, do it. And if you get a reputation for being racist or homophobic or whatever, because you won't serve blacks or Mexicans or whites or gay people, then that's just deal with it. Maybe you want to have the racist burrito stand. I don't know. I think the market takes care of it. And I think we were seeing the market start taking care of it when the government got heavy-handed with it. You know why? If I'm selling stuff, I'm be honest with you. Let's say I don't like you at all, but you got $100 to give me for something I have. I'm gonna be willing to take your $100 because I'm in business. I want to make money. You know what I mean? Snubber, thank you. One guy did a comic about a guy going into a fast food and revealing they are gay after getting a burger. Like that's an own. Yeah, because that's what it was, right? It was gay people weren't allowed Big Macs. They don't understand it, but they talk like they do. All right, speaking of talking like they do, this is somebody Jones. I don't know their rank. I'm sure they'll tell us.
Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones.
Oh, she's Major Rachel Jones. All right.
And what pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army.
All right. I'm Major Rachel Jones. Is Rachel just a name? Never mind. What pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. When you go into the service, all right, they make you guys get all the same haircut, make you guys get all the same uniform. They make you guys follow a chain of command. Why? Why do they do that? It's for conformity. Because in a military where you might have to tell people, hey, run up that hill where that guy has a machine gun pointed down at us and kill that motherfucker. And you don't want diversity there. You want these guys going, all right, fuck it. That's what we're doing. He told me to do it. I'm going to go do it. You don't want somebody going, I'm sorry, man, I'm black. And historically, the Army hasn't treated the black very well. So Whitey can go up that hill, but I'm gonna stay back here. And then the lesbian popping up like, yeah, lesbians have been treated badly too. There was don't ask, don't tell, remember? No, what you want in the military is conformity. That's literally what you're looking for. Anyhow.
Pride means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team.
Okay.
To make everything work better.
All right. She's a lesbian. This is the part I need help with, okay? She's a lesbian. And she just said that she brings diverse skills into the military that apparently straight white men can't have. Straight men and even gay men, I guess, because she has diverse skills from them as well. What skill is it? And please, joke answers, real answers. I'm genuinely asking. What skills do lesbians bring to the Army that nobody else could bring? Oh, Jack is here just in time. My friend, how are you?
I'm tired, man. How are you?
Beat up but happy, my friend. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. God, what are we looking at?
We are looking at what pride means to Rachel here.
Looks like my old accountant.
It's got young Rachel Levine vibes to it.
Yeah, or serial killer. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to make you listen to this part. Ready?
No.
It means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team to make everything work better.
All right, Jack, since you just got here, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the audience. What special set of skills do lesbians bring to the Army?
Scissoring?
Yeah, we got a scissoring in the chat.
Domestic violence?
Maybe. I don't understand what her point is here.
Lumberjack rage?
Keldrick, thank you. I can't quite finger what lesbians might bring to the table. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't seem to find it. Yeah, my comment to this was licking the enemies, not literal.
Well, strap on your thinking caps.
this is what they preach with diversity. Like, oh, we have a special thing that we do. What is it that our special way of thinking? What? No examples. No examples of lesbians. We came into the army, and before we got here, they hadn't figured out that women shaving their legs actually slows them down. So we made it so women don't got to shave their legs, so they're more productive.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. It's like a wind accelerator of some kind.
Yeah,
like airfoil.
I don't understand what they're trying to get at here, and this is the diversity thing for everything. Jack, I was taught and believe people are people. We're all the same. She likes to lick puss, so do I. It makes her a little different than other women, but in every other respect, she should just be a woman, right?
You would think, yeah.
But our special way of thinking. You like boobs? Okay.
I don't understand what they mean by special way of thinking. Is this some sort of weird superiority complex?
It kind of sounds like it, doesn't it?
It does. But, we've been getting that a lot lately from the alphabet community.
Dude, we got it from Sonia Mayor when she was during her confirmation.
Yeah.
She was asked because she had wrote an opinion or an article, I forget which, where she suggested that there's times when Latino women are just smarter than white men. Like, why? Yeah. How?
Well, I mean, it's popular to be blazing racist against white men. So
I guess, man. I just this kind of stuff is so fucking stupid. And when I watched that, she brought up the special set of skills. I'm like, I'm gonna need an example. Mason? Maybe the double dong is a good weapon.
I wouldn't want to get hit with one. They're kind of heavy.
Now that you're here, I got to tell a story.
Oh no!
So the other day, my daughter does not let her daughters listen to this show.
That's probably a really smart move.
Really
swear a lot.
Well, funny you should say that. But the other day, the youngest was like, "Can I please listen to just a little bit?" And she goes, "Okay." And she unmutes it, and immediately you go, "You asshole."
That sounds right.
Sorry, Munchkin.
I apologize for nothing.
Yeah.
I am who I am.
Hey, look, I'm just glad it was you and not Grandpa who said it.
It usually is me, and you get blamed for it. So,
all right. So we're done with Major Rachel here and her special skills.
What's with the name Rachel? Are they appropriating that now?
I don't know. That I don't know if that is a dude or a chick biologically.
That's a dude.
It looks like one, but I've seen
seriously. It looks like my old accountant.
I've seen some manly women before, man. So I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt right now.
I don't care what the birth doctor said. That's a dude.
But if it is,
there's a secret dong there.
If it is a dude, it does make me wonder what the hell. All right, Jack. You know what The Verge is, right?
Yeah. We've used them before as a.
We have indeed. And the other day they reported this. When YouTube personality Mr. Beast replied saying he was going to see how long it takes for him to look at 6,000 posts. Guys, this is in response to the limited post reading the other day. Musk responded, should be less than 1 hour and 9 minutes. Now, the problem with this is it wasn't Elon who said it.
Oh.
It was a clearly marked parody account.
They couldn't tell.
Clearly marked parody account. It's in the fucking name. And this isn't a long name where sometimes where it says parody pops off.
Yeah.
It's clearly visible.
Wow, that's just lazy. I don't know what to tell you.
That's our news, guys. That's where some people get their news, even us sometimes. And this is why we check sources, guys, because you can't trust these fuckers for nothing.
Yeah, they're really bad at their job.
Don't care about that one. Don't care about that. Oh my God, for fuck's sake. Jack, CNN wrote something the other day that just I fuck it. Let's just get into it. Giant kites could pull cargo ships across the ocean and slash their carbon emissions.
Yeah, I talked about this on my stream the other day. They're called sails.
They're called sails.
Yeah, this
Thank
is
you,
just
Snubber.
glorified parasailing.
I love the AOC. Thank you, Snubber. I love the AOC parody account saying that if it is more intelligent than usual, it's a parody account. Yes, yeah, we saw that. People are believing it. When I saw this, Jack, my brain did a double take. I'm like, you can't be serious here. This
yes,
is how people. It's how they traveled the ocean for hundreds of years.
Yeah, and they make it look this is a new technology. No, dum-dum.
And they don't even do it right. They have a fucking parasail on it instead of just, a sail.
Well, no, see, this is new, Monkey. This is the new way of doing it. Did you read about how this thing works?
I did not.
Apparently, they have them.
I was laughing too hard to pay attention.
Yeah, because it's fucking dumb. Apparently, they have a mast that extends up, and then it shoots this thing out of the top, and it's on a 900-foot cord, and you can control it from this little station that probably looks like a giant wheel. And that's how you maneuver it.
Or
it's like a Chinese spy balloon.
Or just hear me out. You could put a fucking sail on the damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, a sail, and like somebody said in the chat the other day, they developed this new thing called a rudder.
Yeah.
But they're gonna call it a ghost stick, I'm sure. It was fucking dumb. This is fucking stupid. This is not new, and they're trying to make it sound like this is some sort of revolutionary invention. It's new green technology. No, it's not, you dumb shits.
Faithless said that would not be controllable. It really wouldn't. Certainly not to the extent of sails. There's hundreds of years of technology and learning that went into sailing.
Yeah.
And they're like, just deploy a parachute. No, just put a fucking sail on the damn thing.
Yeah, a really big parachute.
For fuck's sake. The next boat will be wooden. Yeah, they'll be like, it's much lighter with wood.
Yeah.
Fucking retards.
Yeah, we're creating jobs.
Oh my God. That, Jack, they say everything old becomes new again, but fuck.
Now, I didn't expect anything this dumb until after we were nuked back into the Stone Age.
How did they not just go, what would be smarter is sails? You can even go still see the USS Constitution. It's got all its sails up most of the time.
That's right. I said the Constitution.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah.
By the way, really cool to see.
I have never seen it. Where is that anyway?
Isn't it in DC?
I don't know.
I know wasn't it moved a few years ago?
Maybe. Is it, well, our guesses were Boston or New York, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember where it's at now. All right. That's not my profile. What the hell happened here?
I don't know. Somebody's stealing your shit. Do you have a parody account?
No. I had retweeted something that I didn't realize I retweeted. Let's see. Oh, Jack, I don't know if you saw this. You know who Soledad O'Brien is, right?
Yes, she is stupid.
God, she's a retard. Now, we're going to pay attention to the story thing here first. It's a nice little Asian family here, giving all thumbs up and peace signs. And the tweet says, I told my daughter that today's a big day. They ended affirmative action. Isn't it what you've been fighting for? She asked. I said yes. And Soledad said this. Congrats on screwing over other people of color, ma'am, particularly those whose efforts in civil rights paved the way for your family to come to America. Jack, did Asians not come here till the 60s?
Yes.
Um,
They were too busy building a railroad.
I feel like they've been here for quite a while.
Yeah, it's almost like at some point in the far past, Chinese people came here first. It's like they have a long history of being here. You know, almost like people from like Upper Mongolia may have walked across this Bering Strait thing and inhabited the entire country. But Chinese people did sail to the West Coast.
Now,
so
for the record, I do not know what group of Asians these are. I am thinking Chinese, mostly based on the old lady in the middle.
Yeah.
Snubber, thank you. It all leads back to black activists and feminists. They infect everything. Oh, yeah. It's very labor union-esque where they did everything.
Oh, yeah. They did all the work, and you're just a bad person.
You damn Asians, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the civil rights movement. Okay, sweetheart, the whole reason that case went before the Supreme Court is because the Asians, a smaller minority group than yours, were being left out of colleges so that they could bring in people who were less qualified. They were being discriminated based on their race, and you dare invoke civil rights, you fucking twat.
Right? It's very, very stupid.
Especially those who did the civil rights fight to allow you to come here. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they're probably all from Fresno, and their family's been here since the railroad.
We've had Asians so long that during World War II we put Japanese ones in camps.
Yeah.
That's 20 years before the civil rights movement.
Yeah, they were literally here when black people were still slaves. By the way, did you see my response to this?
I did not.
Yeah, it was #StopAsianHate.
Nice. I just read that. I'm like, you can't be this stupid. You can't.
Oh, yeah,
apparently
she can.
She is.
She's pretty dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll watch this idiot. All right. We got a Gen Zer here, Jack, who's going to explain to us why college is so expensive.
Oh, God.
It actually says the problem with student loan debt simplified.
Now, before you press play,
yeah,
you do realize that in like 5 years, we're going to have to build special group homes for a lot of these people so that they can live in a perpetual safe space because they just can't function in real society.
Yeah. My guess would be this kid still wears a diaper.
Well, I mean, based on the 1990s home improvement haircut, yeah, that's probably the case. But real fast, thank you, Keldrick. You know, it'd save a lot of electricity if we could just write on trees instead of going to the internet to read things. I know what we'll call this stunning new invention: paper. Yeah.
No, you can't call it paper. You got to give it a new fancy name, like tree linen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Offline recorders.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and instead of ink, we'll call it imitation squid goo.
Jeff says people forget there were Italian camps. It's not that. It just Italian camps don't make any point about Asians being here that long ago. Understatement. Thank you. Got this hot new idea. Take a log, cut 4 slices short ways, cut holes in them, then put a long shaft in between them. Then put a box at the top and a horse in front. Then wait for it. Get in the box. Ooh. A horse box. A horse box can save emissions from cars. Speaking of emissions from cars, this kid's obviously been in a garage with the door shut and the car running.
Oh, his parents did that for fun before he was born. Wouldn't surprise me. God, it's amazing how dumb these kids are, man. It really is.
Oh, it absolutely is. But he's excited. He's really excited.
what you need to tell your parents about student loans. It's 1980. It's your first year at a public university. The average cost for tuition and fees, $900. This does not include books, and it does not include room and board. Congratulations, you're living with your parents. You want to pay off this debt, you go get a summer job. You work 40 hours a week through the whole summer for minimum wage in 1980. Congratulations, before tax, you made roughly $1,500. We can safely assume you have paid off all your tuition for your first year at college.
That's if you didn't spend that money on anything else. You know what I mean? If you bought a car, for instance, your $1,500 is gone.
Yeah, and only 40 hours a week? Way to half-ass it. What, are you working at summer camp at Camp Crystal Lake? Jesus.
And notice he only does working a summer job.
Yeah.
These little shits just cannot imagine working while you go to school, which a lot of people did.
They can't handle it. Most of us worked summer jobs for like 40, 60 hours a week. I had 2 jobs. I worked, let's see, in 98, I was working at the mental health facility, and I was working at a tanning salon part-time as an assistant manager. I was putting in 60 hours a week in the summer and taking 2 classes. It sucked balls, but you got to pay the bills. And I still had to take out student loans because I like spending money.
Damn it, Snubber. Gentlemen, may I present this revolutionary device to better refine cotton and to give employment to marginalized people with beautiful outside work. For those of you who don't know what that means, you need to study history more.
That I was surprised you got away with that one, Snub.
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong though.
No, not at all. But this kid is clearly mocking the idea of paying your own way.
No.
Oh God.
He's hang on. Let's watch the rest of this idiot.
Fast forward to 2021, the average cost for tuition and fees for 1 year of college is $9,500. You go get a job in the summer working minimum wage 40 hours a week. Congratulations, before tax, you have made $3,500. You have paid off less than half of your tuition for the first year of college. That's a problem.
Okay, so he explained the issue with student debt. College is more expensive. Well done. Except for that doesn't explain anything. The question then becomes, Jack, why is college more expensive?
Because they know that the government will keep giving them more money. They raise the tuition cost in conjunction with the rise in what they give for student loan. So if student loans go up 2%, that's what tuition goes up.
Yep.
It's done that since I was in college in the 90s. Also, the kid's wrong because community college, way less expensive.
True.
You can easily pay for community college with a minimum wage job.
Well, you got to pay attention to what he says because remember, the average cost. So that is taking the cost of both community college and like Harvard and just grabbing the average from that, which is really not a good way to do it. Honestly, kids, if you're out there, I know you want to go to the major university and go to a community college for the first 2 years at least.
Yeah.
Just knock that shit out there.
And do it while you're in high school because the high school will often pay for it. Because that's why you should have good grades, kids. You could take college classes, sometimes online, sometimes in person, for your junior and senior year. You get your college credits, and the schools usually pay for it. And even if they don't, you can get a summer job while you're still in high school, knock out those first 2 years, and you just saved a boatload of cash.
Assload of money. By his standard, $18,000. The community college, let's say, even if it was $10,000 for the 2 years combined, you just saved $8,000.
Yep. And you do it in state at some community college near you.
Yep.
And temper your expectations. A lot of these kids all think they're going to fucking Yale. Yep. You're not. You're going to a community college or you're going to some local state university. Get over yourselves.
And he still doesn't address the issue. And this is the same thing that Elizabeth Warren does when I went to school, it cost $150 for a course. Yeah, why is it so expensive now?
Yeah, why don't we talk about how the politicians fucked everybody by making these guaranteed loans so that the universities knew they could create, well, yeah, exactly, Snowflake, debt slaves.
You know, I looked it up, Jack. Depending on the source, college has basically doubled in the number of students going there since 1980.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From
And
around
most people don't need to go.
from around 10 million students to 20 million students a year.
Yeah.
All with guaranteed money from the government coming in.
Yep.
That's what did it. And all of these people, hey, you need to pay off my debt. No, they need to stop putting you in debt, dumbass.
Right?
Fuck. Anyway, so yeah, I love when millennials Gen Zers explain stuff because they're very excited about it, Jack. They don't say anything, but they're very excited about it.
Oh, I just noticed that massively generous donation you got. So thank you, Dark Conservatarian.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to bring that up. It's at the top of the chat there, though.
Yeah, I just read it. Thanks for supporting the show, man. That's really, really generous of you. But yeah, look, this kid's an idiot who obviously has no idea what options are. They didn't offer AP classes at my high school when I was in school because that was a long time ago. That was in the 90s. I was in high school in the late 80s, early 90s. They didn't offer that shit at our school. So you have a lot of advantages that other people don't. You can take these advanced placement courses that are usually college credit while you're still in high school, and that will cost you quite literally next to nothing. Get a job, stop your bitching, grow up, and move on with your fucking life. Life's hard. That should be the first lesson you learn as a child: is life is difficult. You're not going to get everything you want. Stop your pussy ass whining. And, oh, it was so much easier for you and so much harder for us. Shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. Try growing up without the internet.
Yeah, look, I'm not. I do think kids are getting screwed, and I've said this before. In so many ways when it comes to the whole college thing, Jack. But my problem is that nobody's addressing the root problem. It's all just it's the same thing. Just give us more money. What do you think that's going to do if suddenly we're like, okay, we're going to pay for all college? Do you think it's going to get cheaper?
No.
That's not how supply and demand works. It's just not. So one of the few principles of economics that actually is verifiable, you guys are destroying it. You're ignoring it. You've doubled the amount of demand and given a blank check. What do you think is going to happen? And then there's even more than that, Jack, because we're not even talking about why the stuff has gone up other than, they raise it because of the amount of loans. Look at the number of administrators.
Yeah.
There was an article about Michigan, University of Michigan, where the number of administrators had gone, I forget the exact number, but it's something like it went from 20 to like 400. Just it fucking ballooned. Sorry, I got to stop doing that into the mic. I'm so sorry, guys. But it just ballooned up, and you have all of these people on the payroll who don't really do anything. You shouldn't need them. But you got to have your diversity office, your Title IX office, your indigenous Eskimo office. You have to have all of this fucking shit that you really shouldn't need at a college.
Yeah. And they still don't. They just do it because somebody will start whining. Otherwise, it's a fail-safe measure.
Yep.
So they don't get in trouble and get protested or sued. Real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. When I knew I wanted to go to college, I knew I didn't want debt. It ruined my parents. My mother went to medical school and just paid off her loans. I joined the Army, used the GI Bill, and fast-tracked my major. 2.5 years of community college. Yep. That's a great way to do it, man.
Yeah.
But most people are incredibly lazy and stupid these days. So they're definitely not going to join the Army because that's a lot of work. Half these kids don't even have jobs because they're too fucking lazy. And they think they're better than working.
I think if you're going to college, you should consider going into the military. Yes, you got to give up. What is it, 6 years now?
I don't know.
So it'd be 24 when you hit college. if you do it right, I mean, worst case scenario, you're with a bachelor at 28, you're still fine to go into the job market then. You're not like way behind in the job market. Plus, you should have skills coming out of the military. It's good pay for your age. Not if you have a bunch of kids, Jack, but if you're a single guy or a single gal, decent wage, room and board, get to go see the world if that's the kind of thing you're into. Yeah, you might get shot.
Well,
so you gotta
that's
be careful.
the risk you take. I
Yeah,
mean,
you got to duck.
yeah, learn
But-
to dodge.
Would you go military with our current leadership? Fuck yeah. It's easier now than ever, man. As long as we're not getting into firefights, hell yeah.
Assassin said you can sign up for as little as 2 years.
Oh, there you go.
And Dark said 6 active contract, 8 reserve National Guard. I don't think I'd
nice.
bother going National Guard because you're going to deal with all the stupid shit. You know,
Well-
that's when you get put in like riot zones and dead body hunting.
Snubber, thank you so much. Not to mention they badmouth the armor. They deface the military recruitment signs so bad. My unit just got rid of them. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no respect for actually working anymore, whether it's in the military or just working at McDonald's. I have more respect for an ex-con working at McDonald's than I do any of these young people that have never had jobs. They are just lazy kids. They've never had to survive on their own. Most of them are going to leech off their parents till they're in at least their mid-20s. I have no respect for that.
And if you're really worried about the dangers of going in the military, go into the Navy. And I say that, listen to me, hear me out, for at least a little while until the Chinese overtake. The Navy, it's hard work. I'm not going to lie to you. You still got to keep the boat running and everything, but nobody's shooting at our boats. It happens, once every 10 years, maybe?
Yeah, it's usually like some terror incident like the
Yeah.
Cole. You really don't hear about that many servicemen dying. It's usually like an accident, training exercise gone wrong.
So go Navy and see the world, and you'll be fairly protected because
you'll probably get to bang a bunch of hot foreign chicks
and a couple of ugly lesbians on your ship.
Yeah,
they get lonely too. If you got to go to the Air Force, the only problem with the Air Force is they do end up in the combat zones. You know, depending on where you're at in it. I mean, if you're back at the main base, you know, you're I don't even know where our bases are anymore. Do we still have one in Spain?
Don't know.
Yeah, just nobody shoots at the Space Force. Yeah, there you go Space Force.
Yeah, at least then you go shoot space aliens or something.
Coast Guard's the easiest place to serve. I don't know about that, man. You see some of the rescue shit they have to do.
Oh my god, yeah, the
That's
rescues
shit.
And the drug bus.
Mm-hmm.
A buddy of mine was in the Coast Guard. He loved it. He said we used to jump on other boats with shotguns, and I was like, that sounds kind of dangerous,
right?
Jumping on a boat. That's how I slip and fall into the ocean and get eaten by a kraken.
Yeah, that's why I said Navy, because they have the big ships nobody fucks with. You just have to keep the ships running.
Yeah.
And you're mostly safe. Like the Cole, I think there was another one. I forget what it was, not that long ago. But yeah. Look, if you can stay out of debt, stay out of debt.
Yeah, that's just good logic sense. I mean,
I hear you, but some people, they don't. One, we have this idea, and it's largely because of credit ratings, that you have to have debt. You really don't. I mean, and if you have to, so like you're building up credit, Jack, so you can have a house, you can do that with credit cards. Just make sure you pay them off. Anything you'd normally buy, you just buy it, put that money aside so you can pay it that month. We are not financial advisors, by the way. But if
no, don't take advice from us on money.
But if you do have to build up your credit, there's ways to do it without putting yourself in real debt. So go out there and get real advice from real people who know what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, that having a financial plan is one of the best ideas you could do. Like, okay, I want to go to college and become like a microbiologist or a mortician or something. Figure out what you want to do and then work toward that goal. go talk to somebody on how much it's going to cost and start planning on that, and then add a percentage on. I'm not a fucking financial planner, like you said, but it just seems like that's common sense to create a plan of action before you try and do something.
Danger says, what do you mean you were following the advice of a cartoon monkey, right? That's your fault.
Yeah, that's on you. I'm a stick figure and he's a monkey, so.
Reaper asked, when was the last big naval engagement we had? That thing where we spanked the shit out of the Italian Navy? I don't know. I mean, the Navy gets used a lot. Like my dad was over there when the Ayatollah was putting mines all over the Mediterranean.
Oh, yeah.
But they never actually had to fight anything.
Yeah.
You know? Because you don't want to stroll up on a U.S. carrier group.
That might end poorly.
Yeah.
Saying.
They are well defended and they will fuck you up. Anyhow, let's move along, shall we, Jack? I want to look at this one just because it made me laugh. This came from something on Facebook, and it's one of those things where it's just poorly worded. It says, "Don't lose a good man because he slept with somebody by mistake."
Oops, my dick fell in someone. I was just walking by, tripped over a stone, and whoop, my dick went in.
I think I've been pretty consistent on this. If you're in a relationship and there's cheating and you guys decide to forgive and forget, I'm okay with it. I really am. Shit happens.
Yeah, that's your business.
But that is somebody making a mistake by sleeping with somebody, not mistakenly sleeping with somebody.
Yeah.
You slept with somebody by mistake. Yeah, I thought I was putting my dick in you. And several people, okay, it could be like a twin situation. I suppose so.
Yeah, but that's a pretty evil twin. There's two scenarios that I could think of off the top of my head where this happens: a twin or a masquerade ball.
Sure.
Maybe it's one of those porno movies where the sister gets in bed and covers up everything but her ass so that you bang her. Because I've seen that in documentaries on my film collection.
I saw that on the Christian Science Monitor a couple of times. It turns out it's a real problem.
Yeah, that's called a poon trap, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't think that happens very often in real life.
If somebody says they slept with somebody by mistake, they're lying to you. Yeah. Nobody. You have to, in almost every case, Jack, it's an overt act to put your wiener in somebody.
Yeah, or to spread your legs for random wiener. But that's not a whoopsie. That's an on purpose. They made a conscious decision to do that. Yeah.
I get what they were going for here, but good God, that's worded horribly. He slept with somebody by mistake.
I think Frost nailed this one.
I was trying to make dinner and suddenly my dick was in her. It was an accident. What'd Frosted say?
Dude, my stepsister was under the coffee table. What was I supposed to do? If she's stuck there, you gotta bang them free.
No, like, you gotta wait till they're in the washer.
Washer, dryer, dishwasher. Sometimes they get their hands stuck in the garbage disposal. There's half a dozen scenarios where this sort of thing happens. They're under the bed trying to get some old photo album out, and next thing you know, they're stuck.
Now, Bjorn does bring up one that is a possibility. He said, drunk or blackout drunk, oops, did something I shouldn't have.
Isn't that just getting raped?
At that point, these days, yes. However, I mean, that still wasn't an accident. You know, you didn't mean to do it. So, okay, I'll give you that part of it. But why are you getting so blackout drunk in a situation where that's even a possibility? Yes, I'm blaming the victim.
Well, I mean, there are always questions to be asked. Why did you put yourself in that situation knowing that's a possibility? Because that's just reckless. It's like climbing over the guardrail at a zoo exhibit.
Unless it's your first time drinking, you should never get blackout drunk.
No, you probably have a problem.
Because you should know your limit.
Yeah.
And you should stop at that limit. Now, I realize, what about alcoholic? I understand. But you should be able to stop. And if you're not, then that's still on you. Even if you are an alkie. Because, I mean, it's still you.
Yeah.
Go get help.
The lack of personal responsibility in today's society is shocking.
Faithless says never blacked out. I've never blacked out, but I've browned out. Have you seen that episode? I really like that phrase. It's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he says, "You're not quite blacked out, but everything's kind of brown." And I've been there before, and that's how I knew I didn't need to drink that much to get to that point again.
Yeah.
Where I have very vivid recollections of the night, but not in any kind of order. Yeah, they're just like, oh, it's like watching a movie in strobe light. Rolling brownouts. Yes, I've had the rolling brownouts before. All right. What else do we have on the agenda? Yeah, let's bring up this one. This is from your boy Pat, and I wanted to address it, the sentiment here. He says, "Do I believe all white liberals are racist? Of course not. What I do believe is that the majority of them do not look at other races as they do look at other races as inferior, hence why they're quick to treat us the way they do. We're human beings just like you, not helpless animals in dire need of your care." Again, a lot of this is reaction to the Supreme Court the other day. Here's what I say about this. I don't think a lot of liberals, and I don't know if it's most or few or however many, but a lot of them, I'll just leave it at that. I don't think a lot of them are intentionally racist. It's an accidental racism. It's that they do think black people need to be cared for by white folk. Because you black folk, you just can't do anything by yourself. Let whitey help you out.
Yeah, it used to be called white man's burden.
Yeah. They're trying to do the right thing. They're just not putting any thought into it. And like most racists, they're just stupid.
Yeah.
White liberals' burden. Yeah. Folks, white, black, Asian, Eskimo. I keep going to Eskimos. I don't know why.
We're all just people. Awesome.
We're all just people. And you know what, Jack? Every so often, everybody needs a little help. But it's not because of their fucking race, you retards.
Yeah, sometimes it's just because they are stuck in the dryer.
They are. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. Your new black stepsister, she's got to do laundry too, man. It happens. White savior syndrome. Yeah, and again, it's like they never even think about it. And I don't think they do. Because this is what's taught now, right? It's actually taught that you need to use your privilege. See, by saying you're privileged, you are, wait for it, better than them. At least better circumstances, right? So you have to, it's literally what's being taught. And they're like, how dare Ron DeSantis put a stop to this stuff in Florida?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because you're teaching racism.
Well, that's the thing is because they only ever hear one perspective, they don't know it's racist. They don't know it's the white savior complex being taught to them. But it's exactly the mentality that led to the Civil War. It's this old Southern mentality of they can't make it on their own. That's why that one chick got so ratioed for saying that black people can't survive in a merit-based system. Because they honestly believe that.
Yes.
But they've never heard an outside perspective to rephrase exactly what they said to show exactly how racist that is.
By the way, Pat is a good friend of the show. I just put his Twitter link in there if you guys want to follow him. I love Pat's tweets, man.
Oh, man, he nails it a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck around.
No. And if you're not following him on YouTube, you should be, because
absolutely
he does great work.
Yeah, your boy Pat, he's a good guy. And he nails it right there. Stop treating black people, whatever group it is, except Asians, because they're like, fuck Asians. Stop treating them as though they're inferior and can't do things for themselves.
Yeah, this whole like white adjacency, this obsession with white supremacy that really doesn't exist is disturbing and pathetic at the same time.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Frosted says Monk has a black friend. I heard that's racist. I have several black friends, so I'm okay.
Don't tell me what to do, Jack. Sorry, Eagle. whiny titty babies is one of my favorite expressions to use
Fucking love
offline.
when he says whiny titty babies.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's amazing how they don't see what they're saying is abjectly racist.
Yeah. It is funny to me that the idea that black people can do stuff for themselves is considered racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like Jarbo saying that Satsu only believes what you tell him.
Yes.
Oh, that's really insulting to Satsu on multiple levels.
Yep.
You don't see that as a problem? Come on, man.
Ebony says backhanded racism. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that they literally used to call it white man's burden because they thought it was the burden of the white man to lift up the other races. It was the foundation of eugenics and a lot of really racist policies.
And before that, it was an anti-abolitionist propaganda point.
Yeah.
If we can't let these black people off the plantations, they won't be able to take care of themselves without masses' help.
Yeah, just wandering around like, oh my God.
We were talking just a little bit ago about what were they called? Moms for Justice, and how they use that Hitler quote. These people have no problem taking actual slave owner arguments and using them now.
Yeah. Yeah, slave owner arguments that developed into Klan talking points.
Yes.
But they just add one or two words onto them, and now they're leftist progressive statements. It's amazing. It's like that old video that was Ryan Long did about the racist and the progressive hanging out together.
And they're impossible to tell apart. They really are. If you listen to the arguments of your genuine racist people, and then you put them next to liberal talking points, they are right on each other. It's not a horseshoe, Jack. It's a ring. It just circles.
Yeah. It's really sad.
They plow right into each other. Some of them directly. All right. Let's see what you brought. Most of what I had today is just catching up on my Twitter shit. So no real big stories. Biden loses his ghost gun case. ATF ban unlawful. Oh, I didn't hear. That's awesome.
Yeah.
In another blow to President Joe Biden's war on guns, a federal judge has reversed an ATF ban on so-called ghost guns, ruling that the president and his gun agency overstepped their jurisdiction. On Friday, Texas-based United States District Court Judge Reed O'Connor said that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives went further than Congress in banning the partially made guns. This case presents the question of whether the federal government may lawfully regulate partially manufactured firearm components, related firearm products, and other tools and materials in keeping with the Gun Control Act of 1968. Because the court concludes that the government cannot regulate those items without violating federal law, the court holds that the government recently enacted final rule is unlawful agency action taken in excess of the ATF's statutory jurisdiction. On that basis, the court vacates the final rule. Good for them. You know, this is the problem we have with so many federal agencies, Jack. This is what they're doing. I'm not saying banning these things can't be done in the United States. I feel like they shouldn't be allowed, but if they're going to do something like this, it needs to go through Congress, not just the ATF going, you can't do that.
Yeah, the agencies should be able to write their own rules.
The ATF shouldn't fucking exist.
Oh, no, it never should have.
Or at the very least, not in the way that it does. If you want to have the ATF, somebody who's like, okay, we got to make sure alcohol tax is being paid. All right. I get you there. But all the other regulation bullshit is none of your fucking business. Now, Congress has the ability to regulate interstate commerce, which they use for everything. So the Supreme Court would probably come down and say, yes, Congress could ban this if they wanted to, or at least put severe restrictions on it. The problem is our Congress are a bunch of pussies.
Yep.
And so what they've do is they will make an agency and give them the power to do all this in their name. Even with that, though, they are limited to whatever Congress gave them the power to do. And that's what happened here. They don't have the power to do this, so the judge vacated. There you go. The ATF was a tax collection agency and needs to go back to that. Yeah, we have so many of these fucking agencies that are nowhere near what they were supposed to be.
FBI.
Yeah, the FBI, the ATF, they're not supposed to be out there killing people in Idaho and Texas. That's not what they're for. But yeah, this government agency shit needs to stop. Congress does this with so much shit because they don't want it on them. They do it with the War Powers Act. Only Congress has the ability to declare war. So what they do is like, hey, I don't want this burden on me. So tell you what, let's give the president the power to declare this war. It's what happened in Iraq. It's why Hillary Clinton is able to go, hey, I did not vote to have war. I just voted to give Bush, who wanted war, the ability to go to war.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for the war. We didn't have a vote for the war like we were supposed to.
We just let the emperor decide.
Yep.
I mean,
well, that's basically what it is. Because when we're talking about these agencies, who do those agencies answer to? I'm not talking about oversight. They're in the executive branch. They're not like the ATF and these guys. They weren't created to be in the congressional branch, in the legislative branch. They're over there in the executive branch. So they're just giving all of their power to the president, basically.
yeah.
And then oh no, the president, he won't get his hands involved directly. Yeah, right. Fuck off. Sure, he's never telling you guys what you're supposed to do. That never happens. You guys do it all on your own. Right, Mr. Garland?
It's just they just tripped and their wiener fell into a new law.
Yeah, just fell right into it. I am glad to see this stuff getting shot down. It'll probably be reversed by an appellate court. If not, it'll be upheld by the appellate court and then taken to the Supreme Court, where hopefully they shoot it down too. Because they've been doing a decent job recently, Jack, of reining in these fucking agencies.
So far.
And look, it could come to where Congress goes, okay, they said we didn't give them the power, so they give them the power, and this shit comes right back. But at least then it would be following the law as written. You know? It would suck, and I think it's a violation of the Second Amendment, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
At least then it would be closer to what they're actually supposed to be doing.
You'd think.
Controversial Boston City councilor driving with revoked license crashes car with son inside into house. Good God.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the chick we've seen before?
I think we have talked about her before. She looks
I am
really
positive.
familiar.
Yeah. All right. A controversial defund the police Boston City councilor crashed her car into a house, injuring herself and her 7-year-old son. Kendra Laura, 33, was driving with a revoked license in an unregistered car without a. Hey, all you gun folks or anti-gun folks, how the driving law is working out for you?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, that's a lot going on. Not only did she have an unregistered vehicle, no license, she had a kid in the car and crashed it into a house.
Well, no license, not registered, and her inspection sticker expired. Probably why she hasn't re-registered. You have to have a valid or a new inspection on there to get a. You ever live in a state like that? I don't know if you guys have that. In Virginia,
where you have to get the inspection stickers? We don't do that shit here. We don't care. We have a fucking nuclear reactor. We don't give a fuck about the environment.
Yeah, in Virginia, you had to have your inspection. So you get your inspection, and then you can go ahead and get. So yeah, she's 3 laws right there.
Yeah, Larry Householder just got put in prison for like 20 years for the biggest bribery scandal in our history. It was like $60 million so that they could just let the power plant keep going. We don't give a fuck about your stupid environmental shit. We just do the wetlands thing.
Wait, I didn't read far enough. She broke another law. Her child was not in a booster seat.
Why would he be? That kid's bouncing all over the place.
Hey, gun control folks, do you think your laws are going to work?
Oh,
Zaire was taken to Boston Children's Hospital where he received several stitches and is expected to be all right. Laura was once described as the first Black socialist ever to be elected to the Boston City Council and confirmed in a text message she was involved in a crash Monday, adding she was with her son in the emergency room. She suffered some cuts and will probably require stitches. Well, there's her driving right there, guys.
now what
Holy
Dangerous
shit.
said is that she couldn't get a license because she's Black, so she didn't know where the DMV was.
Ah, okay.
So that is a talking point that's out there by a lot of progressives. But I would argue it's more because she's a woman.
The problem with that argument is she had a suspended license.
Well, some caring liberal white person probably took her there the first time.
Oh, gotcha.
And then she got all lost. I don't know how these stupid people think.
She ran over this metal fence.
Yeah. Like she had to be doing a pretty good clip. Those fences are usually pretty solid.
Her car was totaled. Spokesman said the counselor was driving when she swerved to avoid hitting another car.
How fast were you going?
She swerved to avoid hitting another car. Judging by where she is in here, she should have been in the right-hand lane.
Should have been.
Why
She's
did you
probably on her
swerve?
phone too?
Why did you swerve so hard left?
Because she was probably already drifting into the left lane because she was texting and driving with their left hand.
Yeah, so her name was redacted in the official report, but her name was visible in a draft police report obtained by the Boston Herald.
Nice.
Driver of the
I'm
vehicle.
actually doing police work, Boston Herald, or investigative work rather.
The driver of the vehicle, Laura, apparently cited as the reason she swerved to avoid an accident, contradicted Laura's version of events, stated he had barely begun to pull out of his parking space when he noticed a car traveling at high rates of speed, which passed by him, then suddenly turned left and crashed into the house. So he's pulling out. I'm guessing they're parked parallel on the street, and that's what made her go that far. All right. This is a residential street, which means the speed limit should be no higher than 25.
Yeah.
At 25, there's no reason for that kind of accident. There's no way she was going 25 and did this. There's no fucking way.
That's what I'm saying. Those fences are usually, any fence is going to be kind of sturdy. Even like the ones kind of leaning over, they're still going to be able to take some impact at 25 and probably have a little bit of standing left. This thing was annihilated. She was doing like 40 at least.
Faithless says 35 max. Is it? I thought residentials were 25. Or is that school zone and then 35?
It varies depending on what kind of residential. Because I know there are some 35s around here where it's largely residential, but it's a throughway through town.
Fair enough. And it might, because states get to set their own, so it might differ by state as well. Yeah. Either way, I would expect her to be on that fence, not completely over it.
Yeah, like I would expect it to stop the car, but she actually hit the building, which that fence didn't stop shit.
Now, she didn't go too far into the building. It looks like she hit the porch here.
Yeah, still,
and that's what stopped her. Because that's.
Even then, you're bad at driving.
And why are you on a donut with a kid in the car? Get a fucking tire, lady.
She can't be bothered to renew her license or registration. Why is she going to get a tire? There's a lot of problems with this.
Yeah. Oh, she was the subject of a vulgar tape circulating for the past 5 months. It apparently shows Owen. Oh. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's why we talked about this crazy bitch. I think we also talked about her because of the her anti-cop stance. So I think we've seen her a few times. I'm not signing into TikTok. Stop asking me to do that. I don't support the Chinese. Why do they keep trying to get me to do that, Jack?
Because they're pro-China.
I guess. Look, I am with the people who say don't blame the Chinese citizens. Hashtag not all, because some of them are shitbags. But the Chinese Communist government can go fuck themselves. And everybody loyal to them can go fuck themselves, Mr. Biden.
Right.
Ultranaut, thank you. Happy 4th. Declare independence from speed limits.
Huh.
Do you guys know why speed limits were put in place, the 55? Do you remember why they did that, Jack?
Because they like making money off of writing tickets.
No, actually, no. It was supposed to save gas.
Oh, yeah. Well, the
Yes.
revenue cops, I mean, the police really enjoy that as well.
The original 55-mile-an-hour speed limit that most states had for so long was to save gas. And they determined that 55 was the ideal driving speed on a highway. And if you go any faster than that, you're wasting gas. Any slower than that, you're wasting gas. So 55.
Well, that's just oppression to Sammy Hagar because he can't drive 55.
And then when they were getting rid of it, there were people like, it's going to cause all kinds of accidents. Accidents haven't gone up since they've. Ours is 75 here now, Jack.
Yeah, I know.
On highways. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
What's your guys's?
Ours is still 65 or 70, depending on what road you're on. And
Damn.
if you're not on a 2-lane road, like one in each direction, those are all 55.
Yeah, well, that's us too. I mean, like a state highway's usually 55, unless it goes to 4 lanes and then it bumps up. But it was just funny to me, the arguments for removing it. It was all about safety, and nobody brought up the gas thing, which was the whole reason it was put in place in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of ours have gone up to 70, but I don't know. I think it's dumb because people are going to drive fast either way. And the only people that benefit from it is the state troopers that write tickets because that's all they do.
Hey, look, the faster you go, the more dangerous it is. That's just true.
Yeah, especially if you're on your fucking phone.
Yeah, especially on your phone. But it's not that much more dangerous, and we have the data to back that up because we don't have, suddenly a huge spike in highway deaths. So they were all worried for basically nothing, Jack. Doesn't mean that you can't have that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that there's no deaths on the highway. Just means all their bullshit about it's too fast. It was just a bunch of pussies.
Of course it was.
Hey, that's how you doing, sweetheart?
Like it's always about my feelings. Yeah. I feel like I'm helping.
Keldrick, thank you. Why did she swerve so far left? Well, she's a socialist. They being right. Yeah, I suppose so. Man, she did go far left, man. Right into a fucking house. All right, finally we got some Romy Girl. We haven't looked at Rome Girl for just a little bit here, so let's check out what Dummy has to say now. Somebody says to her, but the Roman aqueducts were identifiable too. Can't wait to see what. Oh, what a pretty face. She should not do duck lips, Jack.
No, she should not.
All right. Understatement says my queen. Mine too. I am in the service of her majesty. All right, dummy. Let's hear about. Is she gonna tell us the aqueducts weren't real?
Well, I mean, aqueduct
is
kind of redundant, right? All ducks aquatic.
All right. Yeah, I guess so.
She's that dumb.
It should be an aqueduct. Sound is on this one, so we'll check and see how loud she is.
I got bad news.
Okay, she's a little bit quiet, so nothing I can do. She's up as loud as she goes. She's got bad news.
Those aqueducts are identifiably Syrian.
The Roman aqueducts are Syrian?
Yeah, obviously.
Is that what I just heard?
Yes, it is. Look at that smug look on her face too. Like that's meme worthy right there. Mm-hmm. Did you learn your lesson yet?
We're 7 seconds in. Okay, she's gonna teach us why, I guess.
No, she's not.
Let me guess.
You ducked out right there.
School
Would you
just
say?
lied to you.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Oh, sorry.
The Romans generally credited as creating the first concrete engineers, but archaeological evidence says otherwise. 650,000, no, 6,500 BC, when Stone Age Syrians used permanent fire pits for heat. Wait, Jack,
Monkey.
correct me. It's not a big cooking pot, right?
It's not a cooking pot. No.
All this is showing is that Syrians used concrete, or maybe used cement.
Maybe, possibly, but we have to attribute it because the Romans, they're the wrong melanin content. Those circus folk.
Technology was widely used in Syria as central lime burning kilns were constructed to supply mortar, waterproofing cisterns. I don't know how you say that word.
Cistern.
None of that is the aqueduct, sweetie. Cistern. Is that how you said? Okay. Oh, fuck me. All right, I'm just gonna let her talk.
I can't hear anything.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Yeah.
Jack?
What?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on right there. Said I don't know what's
you got
going
anything
on.
downloading? Steam download?
Nope.
Because it just started.
I think it's TikTok.
It might be TikTok, yeah.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Like, you're cutting in and out, but yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, because it won't play now.
Oh, that's weird.
Let me try again. Da, da, da.
That's Chinese stealing shit off your computer.
Probably. All right. Do. Jack, can you hear me
Syrian
okay right now?
kilns can't melt steel beams.
All right, we're going to try this again. I'm just going to let it play, and we'll make fun of her afterwards.
Derpy face.
Those aqueducts are identifiably Syrian. School just lied to you. Syria had been making that concrete since 6500 BCE. But you don't have to take my word for it.
This one's a bridge, but I just like how old it is.
All right, I'm going to stop her there. I'm going to throw this into chat because this is causing all kinds of issues with my computer here, Jack. I don't know why. TikTok's being a bitch today. Here's the deal. She might be arguing that Rome didn't invent concrete. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. But when she says the history lied to you, if you read that, it's like it said recent discoveries.
Yeah.
We do eventually find out things. But did you notice her examples used bricks, not concrete?
Yeah. Plus Rome had super concrete. arguably some of the best in history, since most of the stuff's still standing.
Um,
I would argue that she's an idiot who
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
actually know history, and she's lucky she's weirdly moderately attractive.
look, again, we might find, God, fuck, the Babylonians might have had it and we just never found their examples of it, right? So it's not history lying to you, it's history not having all the information yet. Just like with Göbekli Tepe, you know, like we had nothing but hunter-gatherers, and then suddenly we find this place where no, there was clearly a civilization. But we didn't have that information until we found the fucking thing. So, didn't Roman concrete set even underwater? I don't know enough about Roman concrete to talk on that, Jack.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look more into it, but I'm pretty sure I've heard something about that, but I don't know if that was like Giorgio Tsoukalos or some other crackpot. So you never know. And
here's the other thing. It's entirely possible, but that both of them invented it. That the Romans weren't aware it was already a thing and made it themselves. You know what I mean? She didn't prove anything with that. I don't understand. That bitch she's just dumb. She's dumb.
Yep. Well, you know, look, the circus does a lot for people, but aqueducts, no, only Syria did that.
She didn't show anything that suggested that let's say that she's arguing that concrete was invented by Syria. Fine. You didn't show anything that showed that the Romans were using the concrete from Syria. That would be a link.
That's absurd. They made concrete tents. But Eagle and Evil One are both saying that they were creating sea barriers, and yes, it would cure underwater.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Romans invented concrete from the polymer the aliens brought. That's probably what happened.
Yes, the circus people were the ones to first come in contact with the aliens because everybody loves the big top.
Believe what you want to believe. The Romans made concrete an industry, but they did invent concrete. Again, look, I don't know. I don't know enough about her Syrian thing there, where that actually came from. I do know the examples she showed were brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Which is not concrete.
For the Wright brothers didn't invent airplanes because Italy had kites or something. Exactly.
Anyhow, let's wrap this one up. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I missed you. I really did. For those of you who are American, happy 4th of July. Enjoy it. This is the day. This is the day where our forefathers like, nah, fuck King George. Let's do this ourselves. And I think it's been pretty successful for the most part, Jack. We have some trials and tribulations at the moment.
Yeah, everybody does.
I'd still rather live here than anywhere else on the planet. Understatement, thank you. It's almost like using channels to remove water was a common solution. People tend to co-invent cross continents. We're all the same kind of smart. Yeah. I mean, she didn't even with what she said, she didn't show that it was the concrete from there had anything to do with concrete from Syria.
You can't show that.
You have to be able to show that to be like, hi, I got you, bitch. Thank you guys for the donations. You guys are so very generous. Really do appreciate it. You know what else? I want to say this. A lot of you also drop very kind words, whether in donations or just in the chat. And we appreciate that. You know, Jack always says, you know, hit the like button for my ego. Like button doesn't do anything for the ego. I appreciate it when you hit it. Please do. But when you guys tell us how much you enjoy it, I'm not going to lie. It gives me a little high. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links in the chat, but real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. Rome Girl also said at the end of 6500 BCE, which is about 3,000 years before the Bronze Age. I assume it was a mistake, but still that's stupid. Oh, no, she probably actually believes that. And bronze was probably invented by, I don't know, the Congo or some shit.
You have to remember this woman uses alternative history, so even her little example, we can't take at face value.
Yeah.
So
But thank you for that. And thank you for everybody that donated. Thank you so much to Dark Conservatarian for the very generous donation to us today. And thank you all for showing up. You guys are awesome. And we love seeing you night after night. And we worry about you when you're not here.
what day is this?
I don't know. It's a day.
Is
It's
it
Tuesday.
Is it like it's Tuesday right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So tonight is a 7 Days Tonight stream over on Ranting Monkey Games here on YouTube. So please come check that out. The link is down in the description. We just started a new thing. Jack, I died already. I was so pissed. Yeah, I don't, and I died twice. I don't like dying in this game. I played this game way too long to be dying in it. I was so pissed, Jack. I'm like, I'm gonna start a new fucking game. Fuck this game. But I'm not gonna restart. We're gonna pick it up where we're at. It is a new start because we had the stable came out. So I think we're on going into day 3. So come hang out, guys. Hardcore mode. If it was hardcore mode, I couldn't die more than once. In hardcore, death is death. Understatement, thank you. She had to be the hot girl that was humored by men. I would not be surprised by that because she's very cute. She just has something cute about her that you can't put your finger on. Maybe in. Guys, Ranting Monkey Games here on YouTube will be over there just a little bit playing some 7 Days to Die. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Happy 4th of July. Fuck all the other countries. We're better than you.